You're listening to Moviesucktastic.
It all sounds like some bad movie.
What's up? What's going on?
Oh, we on?
Yeah, we're on.
Hello.
Hello. Hey.
What's up? Welcome to Moviesucktastic.
Episode 203.
Our post-Oscar wrap-up.
That's right. This is the final film that we're doing, and in a way, I'm happy that we're doing this one because I fucking love this movie. And everything about this movie, it was something Scott knows all too well, was something that fueled my anger for a long time about the housing market and just everything involved with it and big banks. And yeah, so I probably enjoyed this film a little bit more than maybe your average moviegoer. I don't know.
I want to when we reviewed Spotlight.
Yes.
I was a bit blasé about the whole thing because, as I said, I'm watching it like, okay, yeah, you discovered that priests are being covered by the Vatican. Yeah, we know that. We kind of know it. This is like if you made this film 10 years ago, it'd be a big thing. You're doing it now after we're pretty much rapist, child raping priests is kind of like cliche. We know, we get it. I couldn't share the kind of outrage. It was like, they're hiding them right down the street from my house. So yeah, dude, you know what? There's probably a child rapist on the street that's not a priest. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
You should just calm down a bit. So that I have the exact opposite effect with this film. Because I feel like there's still a large segment of our population that doesn't that would be surprised by this film.
Yeah. I think so.
And when I saw this film, I saw it with my my older stepdaughter. She's 22, 23, and she kept turning to me. Let me just hang up on that. That's our guest. That's our guest host for the next show we're recording, calling way too early. Because it doesn't pay attention. I just hung up on him.
There you go.
She, every 10 minutes, she turned to me and was like, wait. So they did this? And I was like, yeah, they did. It's like, but they didn't. It's like, she's flabbergasted.
And the whole thing with Countrywide, that just probably one of the worst offenders during the entire housing bubble.
Right. I mean, but just like how flabbergasted she was. And we're talking, again, 23, young adult, and just blown away by just how it's like, but that doesn't make any sense. It's like, this is more true than you even know.
Yeah. At one point in my life, I never thought I would ever be able to afford to own a home. Because the way the housing market was going, the banks got greedy. They created all these different loans, no doc loans, arm loan, just ridiculous types of loans, and all of them were due to greed, and just you didn't have to show documents on certain loans. Yeah, you had a slightly higher interest rate, but you didn't have to show any income.
Now,
you could be working. You could have been a waiter at an Applebee's and bought a $500,000 home, no problem.
Now, and I don't want to get too much into politics on this that we agree on, since this is more of a movie show. But I mean, I got to tell you, the big thing for me was the parts of the film where they showed these predatory loners and like just like bragging about how they did this shit. How they, oh yeah, and like and like lying to these people. Because I remember, like, as soon as this happened, the right wing or conservative people that didn't want to blame free market, it was like, oh yeah, you know what this was though? People just taking loans they shouldn't have taken. People
Right.
like stupid people taking bad loans. Why should we care about that? It's like, motherfucker, they lied to these people. They told them they can afford it. And this film like underlines that. I've been saying that shit since day one. And like this film just like, and the film of course based on a novel. This is all true, and it just there are so many truths in this film that I think go way beyond. Priests raping little boys. The Vatican covered it up. Yeah, I hate to make it sound like child rape is like lower on my list than predatory loans, but as far as the public acknowledging that it's a problem, yeah, I think this is higher on the list.
What was interesting about the housing market when the bubble finally burst, there was somebody that used to live in, or that not live, but used to be in our life that decided to buy a house in 2006. And I'm already just completely engrossed in the housing bubble. And just, here's the thing. If I had any foresight like these guys did about betting against the housing market, I would have put every penny I had and I would have been like, I'm in, guys. Let's do this. You know what I mean? But because I knew something was going to have to give. And the fact that they use Led Zeppelin's When the Levee Breaks is just brilliant. Just great fucking song. But anyway,
I want to stop you.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to get too much into the politics of this, because this isn't Strangers in a Strange Land, the episode we're recording next.
I know.
So I'm trying to fight this too. Believe me, this is like we could you and I could talk about this shit for fucking hours.
I know, but I just want to finish this one little thing.
All right.
I'll make it quick. I promise.
Go ahead.
When the housing bubble was ready to burst, I had told at that time our friends to not buy a house. I said, listen, I know you guys want to do this, don't do it. And they didn't listen. And of course, their house is worth probably $200,000 less than what they paid for. And they're
stuck
there.
It is?
Of course it is.
Good.
Yeah. And then obviously when the bubble actually did burst for real, people were listing their houses to get rid of it because they knew something happened, but they wouldn't believe that their house was actually worth less. So they'd list it like an exorbitantly high. And then, of course, when it would sit there for a year, 8 months, a year, whatever, and it wouldn't sell, they just refuse to sell it and take it off the market. And that's why the correction took 5-6 years, where we're actually finally at a bottom. And it's all because of everything that went on in this movie. And it's based on a true story. And the book that was written, that was then made into this film, is extremely accurate as far as what they did from the book to film. Yeah. They did an amazing job. And of course, it was the director of Anchorman, Anchorman 2, Ricky Bobby. It's like, who knew this guy could direct something like this?
Well, yeah, and now, so switching into the craft of the film from our political views that we
sorry, I had to. I
did the same thing. That's why I'm trying to steer us. This, I mean, I can't help but compare this film, which won Best Adapted Screenplay. Thank fucking God.
Which I picked.
I would have been okay with The Room getting it just because it was a good film, but really, this is the film that really deserved it. Comparing this to the winner of the original screenplay, Spotlight, Snore, and look at the, I mean, Spotlight deals with this complex situation through one group of people, these 4 people. Big Short, 3 or 4 different storylines going through, different personalities, and also, I have great respect for screenwriters that have to deal with topics that are over the head of their audience and they know it.
Right.
Like, once again, I always refer back to Altered States, where they weren't allowed to change the dialogue or remove it from the movie. So you had all this technical dialogue they had to fit in the film. So they purposely made sure that whenever they had all these long, boring discussions, they were doing it through mouthfuls of food or while they're sorting stuff in the cabinet. They made sure something bizarre was happening that you were watching so you didn't fall asleep listening to this boring shit that they were forced to put in it. And I loved how The Big Short kind of broke that fourth wall, which isn't new, and I really regret this film came out so soon after Wolf of Wall Street, which kind of does similar things.
Right.
Because I think The Big Short pushes the boundaries of it more than Wolf of Wall Street did. Wolf of Wall Street really pretty much did what Jake LaMotta did in Goodfellas. Not Jake LaMotta. You know what I'm talking about.
What,
being
Raging
character
Bull?
in Goodfellas. Raging Bull.
Oh, you're talking. Okay.
Goodfellas.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Ray Liotta.
Yeah.
You're talking Ray Liotta, who played Henry Hill in Goodfellas.
Henry Hill, thank you. Goodfellas, right.
Yes.
I knew you knew the character name. Italian and all. And
First of all, he was Irish. More Irish than Italian, but that's fine.
I'm sorry. But I love the parts where okay, this is so... Here to explain it is this playmate in a bubble bath.
Oh, right. What's her face? Margot Robbie.
Right. I love the idea with it. Okay, we're going to take something that they made very, very complicated, and we're going to simplify it so you can understand it. And
right, and they did that a few
because
times throughout the film, which worked really well. Like in the one scene in the casino was excellent.
Right. There's a third one too. I forget the third one. But they do they had 3 times
That's
where they do that.
The Jenga thing. They do. Well, that was. I know they didn't break a fourth wall for that. That was just a meeting. But they do it with the Jenga. 3 times where they break the fourth wall. But they also have times where they break the fourth wall to tell the audience, listen, they made this very complicated so you couldn't follow it, but all it is this. And the most complicated fucking thing, and I still don't understand half of it, I'll be honest. And there's a reason why. Now, comparing Spotlight to Big Short, I read so much bullshit with Spotlight that, oh wow, it's like the actors felt like they were being cloned on the screen. Oh, it was so big a deal. Christian Bale in this movie fucking blew me away. Yeah, he was awesome.
Christian Bale was fucking amazing.
He really was. And who was he up against for supporting actor? It was Christian Bale for The Big Short, Tom Hardy for The Revenant, Mark Ruffalo for Spotlight, Mark Rylance, who actually won. Do you think it would help? Yeah, that won him an Oscar because people are just so used to... We talked about this when we did Bridge of Spies, but they're just used to that formulaic... would it help? It's like, oh, we get it. It's like maybe prior performances that used to do stuff like that, yeah, people were enamored by it, but now they shouldn't be, but they still are. And it's like, aren't we smarter than this? Aren't we better than the formulaic, like quips like that? He actually won. And then, of course, Stallone, who should have won, Christian Bale.
Hands down. Tom Hardy, close second.
Tom Hardy. Yes.
Yeah, and just the fact that Mark Ruffalo and I love Mark Ruffalo, but him in Spotlight up against The Big Short, Christian Bale, not even a fucking contest.
Right.
Not even. Yeah. Oh, can we get over the whole fascination that an actor can actually do a different accent for a film?
Sure.
And get into the fucking acting. Just that one part where they first introduced Christian Bale's character, that guy, and when he smiles at the guy, it's just that most awkward fucking, just even that one scene nailed it. And also,
where he's like, I say weird things. Before he says something like that, he goes, "Yeah, nice haircut. Did you do it? Did you cut it yourself?" And he's like, "I don't know how to talk to people. I say weird things." And it's like, you know what? I buy that.
And also the screenwriters were great in, and I haven't read the books. I don't know how it's structured, but I know it's not structured like fiction, so it is different. I even like the part where they would break the fourth wall at some point to say, yeah, this isn't how it happened.
Yeah, they did that one time where they said, you know what? They actually didn't find a bunch of booklets in the lobby of the whatever. It was actually a friend of theirs who said, hey, you should look at this, and then that's how they got it. But I like how it's like, you know what? This part is more entertaining. But we're only straying off just that much.
Well, I loved it because they underlined that whole thing that comes up where, they'll do these films and then they'll nitpick these little things. They had to change it for the screen movie because you can't It's not all true. You can't be fucking true to life. Like they pulled one. They complained about Pain and Gain.
Oh, right.
Where like, oh yeah, that didn't happen exactly like that. Says, yeah, it didn't happen exactly like that, but he still cooked human hands outside. All right, they tweaked it a little bit for comic effect, but it still fucking happened. Calm the fuck down. You have to, Schindler's List didn't happen. It wasn't all black and white back then with a girl in a red dress. Calm the fuck down and let us just do it. So I like the fact that he turns to the camera and goes, yeah, this didn't happen like this. I don't hang out at fucking bars with these losers. I didn't hear this here. But I like how, again, screenwriting. You set it up, you do it 2 or 3 times, and you pay it off at the end where he stands up and like interrupts the whole space. Like, yeah, he did that. He actually did that.
Yeah.
There's like a methodology to it where it almost seems random, but it's very well crafted. This screenplay was fucking brilliant. And again, any screenwriter that has to put so much complicated, boring technical shit up on the screen and portray the pathos and the emotion in it. Steve Carell's character in this film is so necessary because you need someone on the screen that's as insane as you are when you're hearing this shit.
Yeah, he was perfect for it. I love it when he comes into the help group meeting and he just comes in, he just takes over the fucking group. He's like, this fucking asshole, I'm telling him, how could you sleep at night? And the one guy's, he's talking about, oh yeah, I feel this way, I'm sad. And he just comes in, he's like, I gotta fucking take this. And then he just leaves. I'll see you next time.
Yeah. Right. And again, based on a real person, the character is. But yeah, I mean, it gives you that cathartic person. So when you're watching this film, you have somebody on the screen going, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" Really? And again, I love that part where they're at the that mortgage convention thing, and he's talking to the Asian guy that's like the #1 seller of these really fucked up loans, and they're watching the other table. He's like, "Yeah, watch it. His head's about to explode."
Yeah, no, he doesn't look right. Something's gonna happen. And then he's just taking notes. He's like, all right, explain this to me with this and this and that. And then at the end, he's just like, oh, you fucking make me sick. I think I'm gonna go fucking puke.
Yeah.
And then the guy at the table was, all right, let's do this. He goes, you tell me how much you're worth. I'll tell you how much I'm worth. And I love that because it was greed and just of the stature and nature of being a prick like that is what bankrupt those people, what made them start over, because they didn't give a fuck that they were ripping off, the little guy at all. Foreclosures, record highs. Short sales, record highs. Arm loans resetting, fucking just ridiculous. It's like when you do something like sell someone an arm loan, the guy that's actually selling it to the person, you don't realize how many you've done and then how many other banks and other people have done throughout every other state in the country. But the banks, I mean, they knew. They knew that they were doing all of it.
Yeah.
And what did they think was going to happen when all of these were going to reset? Did they think everyone was going to refi out of an arm loan into a regular 30-year fixed? No, because you know what? They enjoyed paying 0% interest for 7 years, and then it was too late to refi because the market was already collapsing, and you were going from a 0% interest to like almost 7% at one point when the housing bubble exploded, when it burst. So it's like, why would I refi from 0 to 7 on a $700,000 mortgage? Why would I do that?
We're trailing away from the film again, so I'm going to
I know.
I know, but again, I'm with you, dude. I'm with you. But the fact that they portrayed it in this film, and I compare it to Wolf of Wall Street just because, again, they did the kind of fourth wall gimmick as well. But again, Wolf of Wall Street was kind of like doing it from Goodfellas, but I thought the film handled a subject matter so tricky. Even the whole idea that at the end, even like the guys that made the money off this, it was a hollow victory.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, yeah, but we're making the money off of something that we tried to stop.
Yeah.
That we didn't want to happen. It's just, just it was. I thought it was a great film, and I thank God it won best screenplay, because the selection for screenplays this year was sad. I mean, it's thin pickings when a sci-fi film makes best screenplay list. Ex Machina,
which won for best visual effects, which I really thought Mad Max was going to take that.
No, but you know why? You know why that won over Mad Max? Because Mad Max had so much like real effects.
It had real locales and effects. Yep.
And it had so much that like they actually overpowered.
That's why I knew The Revenant was definitely not going to win best visual effects.
Right.
I'm like, I don't even know why it was nominated, because of the bear scene. Because that's it. That's the only thing that was CGI. That's
the thing. It's like both of those films were so great, but the actual effects overshadowed or overpowered the visual effects, the CGI. They should just call it CGI effects now. Stop with the visual. Well, you know what you mean now. It's just CGI.
Right.
That's what. Yeah. So I get that. But I mean, just the fact that Ex Machina made best screenplay. So really, that's how low it is now. You're picking sci-fi flicks, and not even like popular sci-fi flicks.
Right.
This wasn't a blockbuster. Why is this on? It's just, Inside Out, a fucking Pixar cartoon, best original screenplay.
Yeah, and
are things that bad?
I don't get it. I don't get it. Was Anomalisa nominated for best original
screenplay? It wasn't. No, it was nominated for best animation, and it lost to a Pixar fucking film.
Well, I called that. I mean, you know what? That was an easy pick, even though Anomalisa was the better film. That should have won. Did you see it yet?
Anomalisa, I saw bits of it.
Yeah, what it deals with.
Like the more I see Inside Out like being nominated for these things, the less I want to watch the fucking thing. I actually hate the film now, and I haven't watched it.
I mean, I've seen it numerous times because of my children, and that's it. But Anomalisa was, for what it was, worlds better than Inside Out, as far as dealing with the psychology of it all, and like when you watch it and the way it ends, and you really start to think about it, you're like, wow, it's such a very good movie. I do recommend it. So, and from what I understand, that was not Kickstarter. What's the other one that they're starting to do to make independent films and whatnot? The other one, other than Kickstarter. But it was crowdfund. It was a crowdfunded film. So it took like 4 years to make, and so
stop motion is a slow process. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was very good. So, but anyway. Honestly,
I was just say it's like if you just like go down the best picture films, The Big Short is easily like my top 3 favorite films.
Absolutely.
Easy.
Absolutely.
Top 3 out of Best Picture.
Uh-huh.
And out of Best Screenplay, original and adapted, Big Short is my favorite film. Everything else was like either passable or boring.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. It just, as I'm watching it, I'm just like, fuck yes. I'm like, they're getting it right. The whole way through the film, I'm just like, they're getting it right. They're getting it right. This is exactly how I felt when the shit was going down. I had read too many articles. I read too many things. It made the film more enjoyable.
But again, for me, it's the craft with how they did it to convey this information to an audience that might not be up on that.
I agree with that.
From a screenwriting standpoint, this film was fucking brilliant.
Yep.
Heads miles above Spotlight. If this and Spotlight had been in the same category, I would be very upset if Spotlight won.
But it was in the same category. What are you talking about?
No. Adapted versus original. No.
Oh, I thought you were talking about for Best Picture.
No. I'm talking about screenplay.
I got you. Yes.
Those are my categories. Those are my favorite categories.
Yes.
And again, slim pickings this year. The only one out of both categories that really blew me away was Spotlight. I'll watch it again.
Spotlight?
Yeah, no, Big Short. Big Short, I meant.
I'm just making sure you corrected yourself.
I'm on my second martini. We gotta get going to strangers.
That's fine. Yes, we do.
Oh, very quick. Ghostbusters.
Well, we got to rate this first.
Okay.
And let's see. It better be rated higher on IMDb more than fucking Brooklyn.
7.9.
Good. I would be very, very happy giving this an 8 or a 9.
I would go 10.
Maybe even 10. Yeah.
I can't think of any reason why not to give it a 10. Except maybe that it's not like epic. But what the fuck is? I don't know.
No. I'd be comfortable with a 10. Absolutely.
You know what? I want to give it a 10 just because it was the only excellent screenplay this year, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm giving it a 10.
Good. 10.
Why is it saying you give it? Oh no, it's 10. 98,000 votes on IMDb. Average is 8. It's really kind of boring across the board. No. It's like a 7 and 8 across the board. There's really not enough difference to go into detail, except
11,000 people gave it a 10. It's pretty good.
Under 18, only 1,700 people under the age of 18 watched it. Good. Yeah, they shouldn't have to worry about this shit. We already fucked the planet up for them, so they should just take it easy for that couple of years. The biggest voting block was males age 18 to 29, and the highest demographic was males 18 to 29. That's good.
Millennials.
It's nice to see. Yeah, don't start with that. I hate that. I hated Generation X. I hate millennials even more. It's like, all right, yeah, okay. All right, you know, all millennials is older people that are pissed off that kids are looking at cell phones. And every time I see
every generation gets this.
Yeah, every time I see one of these things, they make fun of all the kids are looking at their cell phones. All I can think of is when I was a teenager, and the big thing was, everybody with headphones on, ignoring everybody. Fuck you! You're not important enough for me to fucking acknowledge you. What pisses me off is that the headphones are big again, and when I was a teenager, they had gotten small, and now all the kids are wearing.
There's all different sizes for headphones.
Yeah, the popular ones are the big ones now. You look around, they're wearing the big ones like these now.
Well, I wear these because this is what you should wear when you record radio or
obviously whatever. I'm talking about people listening to their cell phones or their iPods or whatever, and you look around the kids. The big ones are popular again. They were popular 5 years ago.
That's kind of dumb, though.
Popularity doesn't mean smart.
I'm sure they're more comfortable than the earbuds.
Anyway.
Who gives a fuck? Oh, shit. Our footage in the background is done. Anyway, yeah, we went long on this one. Almost 50 minutes. Which is kind of short for what we usually do, but we really wanted to only stick to like half an hour. Anyway, go to our website at Moviesucktastic.com. You can download all the shows there. You can listen to the shows there. And absolutely tune in every Thursday at 8 o'clock live to watch the show and hang out with us. You can go to iTunes.com or however you get to iTunes, and you can download the show that way as well, or you can listen to it right from there. You can go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Moviesucktastic. You can go to our Tumblr page at Moviesucktastic.tumblr.com. If you want to leave us voicemail, the number is 908-514-4470. If you want to leave us email, the address is themovieguys@Moviesucktastic.com. Download the free Android app for your phone or your tablet, and you can just get everything I just said that way. There is a mobile version of the website now, or of our show, the website and whatnot, and for all you iPhone users. And that about does it, good sir. Any words of wisdom?
Ghostbusters!
Who are you gonna call?
Not these fucking bitches.
No,
right.
yeah. Oh, wow.
I take it back. Nothing against the actors. It's all the director and writer. That's all.
Yes, it is. All right, everybody. Talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.